also in a live stream of mine, a person who was black, well, African American, well, technically African Australian, was like in my comments, hey, why do Asian people, when I'm on the bus, stare at me when I'm on the bus or the subways or whatever? And I'm gonna, this is something that's not like spoken about a lot within the Asian community, or just being Asian in general. Forget about Asian guys and white girls. Forget about Asian guys and black girls. Forget about Asian guys and interracial dating. This is a whole nother subject that is downplayed a lot within Asian communities. See, coming from a super traditional Asian household, you have to understand that Asia as a whole damn continent is still stuck in their ways of super traditional, super conservative thinking. And what do I mean exactly? I'm talking about, traditional household values, of getting a job, traditional values of being super, conservative. And I'll give you a little example. When I go swimming, I have my shirt off. I have ink, right? And this ink here. And even old Asian grandpas come up to me. I don't even know them. And they just point. And they're like, and they give me this weird stare. And to give you another analogy, things like marijuana, I'm not for or against, the use of it, make sure you're legal age and all that. But in places like Japan, Korea, marijuana is treated as like a level 1 drug, which is like on the level of like cocaine or like methamphetamines. And you can go to jail for having marijuana. But in Canada or the US, you might get, okay, I don't know about US, but in Canada, you get a slap on the wrist, it's decriminalized, and you might get a little fine here or there, depending on the amount. But that's another story. See, the thing is, when it comes to super traditional households, what does this have to do with being black? Well, Asians have that, stereotypical beauty standard of like, the lighter your skin is, the more beauty you are, the mother beauties. And it comes along the lines of, having, the more pale your skin is, it means, you haven't worked out a lot, you're not a farmer. And the more tan, like I was pretty tan when I was young, and I remember relatives would, make fun of me, oh, you're so dark skinned. And that kind of like ignorant kind of mindset kind of applies to, African American. Oh, because you're different. Oh, because you're black, you probably work a lot. And it's really condescending. And it's something that not a lot of Asian communities talk about, because it's kind of hush-hush behind the books. But I recently saw, Haha from this show in this Korean TV show, Running Man. And he was being interviewed about how Koreans like to be, I'm not trying to, say all, but he was asked, why do Koreans think they're better than other races? Why is there, kind of prejudice towards black people in Korea? And this all stems from that very, super traditional Asian mindset. Doesn't matter if you're like, Mongolian, Korean, Japanese, whatever. There's still that stigma of, if you're a darker skin color, you probably work a lot more. And on top of that, you different. Asians are known to be very blunt, right? Asians will go up to you and be like, oh, you're so fat. Or, oh, you're single? You must have nothing going for you. And you take that into account of, your skin tone, prejudice, super, conservative, countries. It's like, yes, there's still prejudice, there's still racism going on, but as time changes, as, society moves forward, I would say, Asian countries would start to become more open-minded, but it's happening very slowly, but it's happening. But chances are, the majority of, especially if you're an old Asian grandpa or old Asian grandma, still have very conservative and, kind of like old school mindsets, especially when it comes to, taboo things like ink or interracial dating or, looking at something that's different. Because if you go to like China, everyone's Chinese, and you're that one person that's black or white on the train, chances are you're gonna get looks. And Asian grandmas and grandpas like to stare. Hopefully that answers your question when it comes to, are Asians racist towards black people? It's a yes and no. It's kind of like being, not pun intended here, but the black sheep. Because you're different, they're gonna look at you, right? But at the same time, this isn't right, and it's something that's slowly changing. And if you want me to get more into specifications about this old school mindset, let me know. I can make a part 2 to this. But for me, I'm as liberal as it comes. But at the same time, maybe it's because of my hippie liberal arts degree. Yeah. Doses.